Here at Malaysian Care, I was given the opportunity to serve in prison drugs and AIDS ministry. I could relate to their predicament, especially those who come from the prison and addiction background. It is really not easy to change our lives, and I wouldn't be able to do so if the second chances are not given by God and the people around me. That is why I truly believe that the prisoners and ex-prisoners, the substance abusers and addicts should be given that second chance to rehabilitate and given the right platform and opportunity to turn their lives around. And you and I can play a part. As Jesus spoke a lot in parable, I would like to share a short story from the parable of the Good Samaritan, taken from the Gospel of Luke chapter 10 verse 25 to 37. The title is Who is My Neighbor? In the parable, when a priest was passing by a badly injured man lying on the road, perhaps due to his commitment to staying clean ritually and to avoid inconvenience, he did not stop to help the injured man. Many a time we find it hard to go out of our own inconvenience to help others. Sometimes we think, why don't let others do it instead? I was part of a team that goes into Sekolah Integrity Kajang, or known as SIK, a juvenile prison, and I remember seeing a young man, a grumpy, scary looking young man who doesn't smile a lot. As I met him more often when I go in and out of prison, I began to greet him, had small talk, and I approached him. We made friends, and even though at times he can be very cold and sometimes no response, and after some time I continued to do so, and I started to see a smile coming from his face, and we managed to strike some conversation before I was told that he was transferred to another block. Sometimes we do not have to say much or do much, but with the little that we do, it does show care and hope to the other person. Now, instead of being inconvenienced and wanting to stay ritually clean like the priest, why don't we stop and share a smile? Or in this case, a helping hand, a show of acceptance and non-discrimination. In the same parable, the Levite chose not to respond to the badly injured man. As he saw the priest from afar walking past the injured man, he would have given a lot of thought into the matter. As he walked past the injured man, he would have thought, if the priest couldn't help him, how could he, and maybe might get himself into trouble by doing so? During my time in the ministry, I've seen quite a few who have given up on the work due to the feeling of disappointments and at times incompetence due to the magnitude and the expectation of the ministry. Now I remember one of our volunteers knowing by the name Uncle Chandra, who was a dedicated servant of God, and he never stopped serving until the day he went to the Lord, even when he wasn't well. Throughout his 30-odd years of serving in the prison ministry, he was cheated, he was lied upon, he was even robbed by the very people that he was helping. But he never gave up. The love of God and the commitment to share God's love pushed him to continue serving until the day he died. Many lives were blessed by what Uncle Chandra did, inside of prison and outside of prison as well. And the lives that he had touched went on to touch more lives. Now, when a Samaritan saw that badly injured person, not only does he help him, but also he cleaned his wound, put him on his animal, and took him to an inn, paid for the room, paid for the medicine, and whatever cost for the care of that injured person. We can see how much it inconvenienced that Samaritan when he helped the injured person. Jesus, a Jew who speaks to a crowd of Jews using Samaritan as the example of a good person, would have made many of them thinking, as the Jews see the Samaritans as a second-class citizens. It doesn't matter who we are or what people see us as, but it is the heart and action that matters. The Samaritan chose, it was a choice, to help the badly injured person and uses his own resources and time to help. Can we too do the same? Or would we be like the priest and the Levite? We are called to be like the Samaritans, to provide help to those who need it, and at times, it takes up our own resources and time. So, who truly is our neighbor? When I was in trouble and when I was in need, the people around me showed me love and care and went as far as spending time with me so that I have hope in life. When I failed, people gave me second chances. And even though I may not have been perfect in my recovery journey, people compromised and gave me grace. My desire is for us not to judge, but to accept wisely those coming out from prison and those coming from the addiction background, to help them to reintegrate in ways that we can, and even though if it is small ways. Now, God has taught me that He is a God of redemption, and because of His love for us, He wants to see everyone saved, just like how He showed me when I was that one lost sheep, whereby He left the 99 sheep and looked for me. It is just like us, church. We need to go and reach out to the lost beyond the four walls of the church. It is not the well who Jesus came for, but it is for those who are sick and for those who need to hear the good news. Thank you.